we're going to do our own fucking movie review, and you're going to hear what three dickheads have to fucking say about a movie. And this time, it's a movie recommended by my boy Dan from Iceland, and it's a killer movie. We'll get more into it, but the movie is called Freaked. So here we go, guys.
All right, everybody. If you're not familiar with Freaked, it was released in 1993, and it was partially written and directed by Alex Winter, who you may know from the Bill and Ted movies. He was on Lost Boys. He's the main star of this movie, but this movie also has other stars you may know, like Randy Quaid, who played Cousin Eddie in the Vacation movies, and the one and only Mr. T.
Mr. T.
And this movie was only released, unfortunately, in 2 theaters in the United States and grossed less than $30,000 before being removed. But it definitely is a movie where, watch it yourselves, everybody, because it's a movie where you can find it for free. Plenty places, YouTube, cough, cough. And it definitely is one of those movies where you'll watch it and you're like, what the hell? But then you'll get into it. Definitely has a certain type of humor that isn't for everybody, but definitely is, I would say, at the time, I could see why it got pulled. But now, in 2020, I think the audience that there wasn't for it either grew up to have more of appreciation for it if they watch it, or just formed around it.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of those movies that should be a cult, but isn't, because it's not that well known.
Yeah, I was gonna say you pulled. Yeah, exactly that. It should be a cult, but it isn't.
I mean, that kind of sucks. Like, more people should hear about this movie. I mean, that's why I wanted to recommend it. This is the kind of movie you would just be like, hey, yo, dude, I got a movie you gotta see, and like bring some friends over to watch it, and then just laugh out loud. So ridiculous, and like people haven't heard about it before. I mean, you heard about all the cult classics before and everything. Yeah, and this movie should be a cult classic. Like,
I think that's a great. I think it's a great way to introduce the movie to these people.
Dude, we should make this movie a cult classic.
Yeah, it's our mission now.
Yeah, like that's our mission, man.
When Blu-ray comes out, we'll do the audio commentary for it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's a movie. Going back to what Frankie said, it's a movie that, like he said, I feel like I agree with him that the audience is there for it now more than ever, but also I think the audience was there for it then too, but they just didn't. They just didn't see it, because it's kind of like if you can watch, like Airheads or Biodome or like Monkey Bone. What is that? What the one with
Monkey Bones is a perfect example. I was gonna say that before we had the issues with the recording last week. As that imagery, I wonder if they have the same set designers.
Yeah, or Monkey Bones is perfect. If you can watch a movie like that, and I agree that not everyone can, right? I mean, you have to like that movie. I mean, for example, like my mom is the one I go to. She's like, yeah, there's stupid movies, but then there's stupid movies. Like, if you guys want to watch like a stupid movie, that's fine, but this is stupid. And if you're like that and you can't watch, then yeah, you're gonna think it's a dumb movie. But I know for a fact that there's a bunch of people that love those movies, and I know for a fact that if they saw this movie, they would like it. I think all three of us, and the reason why we watched this movie, Daniel, Iceland Dan, was like, "Have you guys seen this movie?" I started watching it, and I was just thinking, I can't believe I never saw this before. I can't believe I never heard about this. I can't believe I didn't know this existed. And
exactly,
I feel the way. So it's just, I think it's a gem.
It has the effects that you would expect from like a Gwar concert, if you're into Gwar. If you know about Gwar. If you don't know about it, anybody listening out there, definitely look it up, because they're more than just music. They're more of a like, holy shit, look at that. To the point where they actually do stuff to purposely offend people or just be goofy.
Yeah.
And another movie I would compare some of the scenery to is, it's not the same type of movie, because one of these movies is more like a family movie, but you ever see the movie Little Monsters with Howie Mandel?
Yeah, it is.
You know the monsters and all that? It's
just
kind of like that.
It is just a little, that's another perfect example. There's very select, it was a very 90s thing, that Monkey Bone, Little Monsters.
I mean, like I said before, this movie is kind of like if you took the 90s MTV and took the Nickelodeon and mixed it together. That's what you got, man. And like all the claymation and everything.
Right?
Yeah, like you take that humor and the weird freaking cartoon violence of like Celebrity Deathmatch and Beavis and Butthead.
But I think it kind of like reminds me of like Airplane or Top Secret, one of those movies.
And some like aspects of spoof comedy.
Yeah, because like it's not a parody. It's not like a movie trying to be another movie. It's an original movie
Yeah, it's like
That's
satire
just
comedy in a
yeah.
sense.
And like I said before, like one of my favorite scenes was like seeing the airplane explode, and then like everything's all right, because like that's something you would see like in airplane.
Now that you know what, now that you say that, I mean, you can hear it in everything we're saying. There's a lot of aspects of other movies from the 90s in this movie. This is a straight up 90s fucking movie. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, even if you like Good Burger, you know what I mean?
Dude, I swear to God, I was just thinking of Good Burger. I
Frankie,
swear to
come
fucking
on,
God,
bro.
I just thought of that right now. I'm like, yeah, Good Burger has that like 90s look with that humor that's actually funny, but then sometimes it's dumb funny. Yo, that is insane, man. We're on the same wavelength, all three of us, man.
You see,
Me and Dan.
you believe it now, right? Like
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
we're on the same, and Daniel, you too, and that's
Oh yeah, me
crazy.
and Daniel just did with the Beavis and Butthead.
People get it, right? Not that we love the movie, but I think we want to shed some light on this movie. I think we want people to see it. Now going into with the giving, that being said, I don't want to give away too much of the movie, right? We don't want to
no, not at all
on the movie, but it's pretty much your typical 90s comedy, really out there, really
and I mean the music in it is excellent. Like
music.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, like it's my type of music.
Yeah, same here. Like the Butthole Surfers, Sweet Loaf, always like
Henry
coming
Rollins,
up and up.
Henry Rollins.
The
Henry
whole
Rollins.
this last time, the Sweet Leaf rendition is fucking amazing.
Yeah, man, fuck that's fucking.
I've been listening
epic.
and singing Sweet Leaf for the past couple days now. The music is very 90s too. I said this in the last one. That intro, we talked about it last time. Not even the visuals. We didn't even touch that. The visuals are fucking like that was a cool, typical 90s intro. But the song, you guys knew the song. I didn't know the song. What song is that? The intro.
It's Freaked with Henry Rollins, and I don't remember what the band's called that played.
But it's for this movie or no?
I think it might have actually been for the movie itself.
Dude, because it's
Henry Rollins is an amazing genius.
I've actually took that to note last time. You guys said Henry Rollins, that I've heard the name, but like there's so much music, there's so many people. Like I could definitely. So yeah, I mean, music's great. Pretty much. What's his name? What's the actor's name from Bill and Ted?
Alex Winter.
Alex Winter. He wrote it. He directed this movie, right?
Yeah, him and another guy directed it.
Another guy directed it and wrote it.
Yeah, but I think the two guys that directed, so him and his directing partner, and he had a writing partner, wrote it, and then the guy that helped him write it didn't direct it with them too. Okay. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's pretty much he's an ex-childhood actor, kind of like Punky Brewster, right? And no, not Punky Brewster.
I don't know if he goes that young.
He's a childhood actor who's an adult now, and it pretty much starts off in an executive boardroom, and there's a company called Everything Except Shoes, right? Everything Except Shoes.
Mm-hmm. EES.
But exactly. EES. So it's not exactly Everything Except Shoes. And he's in a board meeting with a bunch of, board members, and they're trying to get him to be the poster child of this product, this fertilizer product. But the fertilizer product has been known to affect people. It gives them mutations. It mutates people. It's not safe. So they only use it in South America. And he is conscious to the fact that it is fucked up, and he's like, no, I can't do it. And then he's like, how about this much? 1 million. And he's like, 5 million. So pretty much he's like, all right, he ends up being the poster child. And one thing I thought was funny off break, and I think I'm going to mention it because I think it, for me personally, it's what kept me going, like, okay, this is kind of cool, because the first minute is already attacking the corporate world and stuff like that. How, the whole board, it's just a bunch of old dudes. And he's like, everyone who agrees, raise their hand. And then they all raise their hand, but you notice they're like attached to like this rod pulley system that he pulls, and they all just raise their hand. And then I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when their hands went down, there was like a nasty, fleshy, like sound effect. It was like like as if it was like it was like oh shit, okay. So it was a corporate world, right?
Yeah, and let me mention, remember this isn't really spoiling anything because it's this early on in the movie, but there's the guy that they bring out and he says, yeah, this guy's been working with this fertilizer for a long time and he's fine.
Yeah,
and he stands there and then he starts like de-aging.
Shrinking,
Yeah, at the middle section, do you realize the guy, I looked this up, the guy that plays him when he's starting to shrink is the same dude that played all the Oompa Loompas in the remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Wow, I got that vibe from that without even really. That's crazy.
And another thing I noticed is when he's at his smallest as a little kid, because it was a Spanish guy, it looks like they just used a white kid and like darkened his skin, almost like a blackface.
No, dude,
I'm not even lying.
Dude, that's an adult man that looks like babyface. Like I'm not kidding. Like I checked him up and. When he's his smallest with a baby's head or whatever, that's actually an adult man.
Oh, so they used a what's the politically correct? A dwarf, a little person? Because I know the other guy is considered a little person too, but he's a little bit more well known. So people, at least after Charlie and Chocolate Factory, would recognize him.
I was watching something the other day. I think it's all considered dwarfism.
But yeah, that guy is real. It was a real adult, which fucking freaked me out when I saw it.
Let's remind everybody here in the beginning, like let's say 10-15 minutes of this movie, you're gonna be like, what am I watching and why am I going to continue watching it? Because it doesn't come off.
Furthermore,
before you get into it, you're not going to really.
And you're also going to be like, why am I going to continue watching this movie, but why am I going to continue listening to this podcast that recommended this fucking movie? But trust me, keep watching. Just keep watching. Just like we're going to keep going. Let's keep going with this review. Not even a review, because we're pretty much, I mean, I think you guys got the gist of it. I think you understand that you just need to watch the movie. Pretty much he takes the deal, goes to South America. He never makes it to where he needs to go because he meets a girl and pretty much, right? I mean, he meets a girl and then pretty much gets sidetracked and they stop at this freak show. Yeah. And they get stuck at the freak show, and the guy who runs the freak show, Randy Quaid, who is an amazing character. I think Randy Quaid's character in this movie is fucking hilarious. I think it's a great character, a great addition to the movie.
No, but he is like a character that you recognize as smart with what he's able to do, but then he's also really stupid.
He is, and Randy Quaid's good at that. I feel like Randy.
Oh, for sure.
Like he can play a stupid idiot that also has his mind there when he needs it, or just doesn't. So pretty much Randy Quaid runs his freak show and he tricks them into staying there. And they actually, the main characters, which is not typical in movies, they get freaked. They get like my whole point was when I said that it's not typical in movies, let me elaborate. Like the main character in this movie gets turned into a fucking disgusting looking pus shooting like monster. And the other two get changed into something similar. So like your main character is not like this pretty boy, boy meets girl and falls in love. It's like this motherfucker looks disgusting. That being said, do we continue? I mean, we can't go on. We can't tell this. Like at this point, we're just like giving the premise.
Yeah.
I think everyone.
I feel at this point right now would be like what the trailer would give. So
exactly.
Give anything less or
look, guys, that was our review on Freaked. I think that honestly, and I got this more this episode. I think that we all three like this movie. I don't care what anyone says. I think we all three like this movie, and I think that we all three like this movie so much that it's kind of cool that it was our first movie review because not all our movie reviews are going to be like this. Like we actually all three like this movie, and not only like this movie, we want more people to see it. So this is a different kind of review. Like we're not going to give you the full review because Daniel said it. Like I don't want to fucking ruin it for you. You got to go in with fresh cheeks, but just know that we fully support this movie. And I don't know if it's because of circumstances and because I fucking love you guys, but like I love this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this movie.
And,
Me too, man.
Did you guys bring come up with parallels for like Tusk in this?
Yeah.
There's a guy out in the middle of nowhere, puts on a nice front, takes advantage of this person who's looking for fame,
and turns him into
him into a freak. Obviously, there's more cartoon violence and all that, but
it's like a trap. That's the only thing I can think about it. Like that trapped genre, like
Mhm.
like Tusk, like Human Centipede,
Misery.
And Red State.
Yeah.
Red State. Yeah, to that, like the point where like they show you their normal life, and then you know that point where it's like, boom, you are fucked.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good fucking movie.